Why do men cheat on their wives? We checked Quora and Reddit. Here are some answers. An anonymous man wrote on Quora, I was married to the love of my life for 5 years. We had a daughter together. We had our ups and downs, but we remained rock solid. This was my happily ever after. But I ruined it. I went on a trip with my friends from school. We decided to go on a road trip, though nothing happened on the trip. But my married friends told me all about how exciting their life was with an extramarital affair or with weekly prostitutes. They told me all about how a new woman in your life lights up things and you try out new things on the bed. They told about how, after having babies, most women aren't able to be toned and stuff like that, and how the prostitutes always brought something new to the bed. To be honest, I was quite impressed. The man in me had this sudden urge to try out things. I kept thinking about this on my way back. I went back home. My wife and daughter were to return in the evening from her mother's place. The first thing I did when I reached home was booking a hotel room for myself. Just 5 days after returning from the trip, I went to the hotel, called up a hooker, and tried to have it. But it just didn't work for me. I wasn't really able to perform like I imagined I would, although I did somehow finish, and I didn't enjoy it. Even after this, I thought I would try again later. I went back home the next day. That was a Sunday. On my way back, I was feeling guilty, but didn't think much about it. I tried to push all my thoughts to the back of my mind. But as soon as my daughter opened the door and exclaimed, "Hello, Dada, I missed you," I lost it. I teared up and hugged my daughter. I immediately went to shower without meeting my wife. I didn't want to face her. I cried in the shower over my lack of gratitude to my family, and I was determined to confess this to my wife. She was a strong lady with no tolerance of BS. She prioritized her self-respect over anything in the world. Yet she loved me like no one could do. I came out of the shower, my daughter in the room and my wife in the kitchen, making my favorite dish, and I just blurted out. She looked at me and just said, "The boys got to your mind, didn't they?" I kept quiet. Those were the last words she said to me. She went to her daughter and told her that they were going to her mother's place. When my daughter asked why, she said that she can't be in the same room as her father. They left and I never stopped them. I got the divorce papers the next week. This is 6 years ago. My wife is now happily married to a man who keeps her happy, and I am allowed to meet my daughter whenever I like. My ex-wife and I haven't talked for the past 6 years, and I now live in a house which was once our home, alone. I just have my daughter. I didn't get in touch with my friends after the trip, and I know that I will not be able to find love now, and I just wait for this life to end. Never hurt the ones who love you. It will cost you your happiness. Another man wrote on Reddit, I cheated on my wife, and she found out about it. She wanted a divorce at first, but I begged her to stay. She is the love of my life, and I can't live without her. I cheated on her because I was selfish and so stupid. After a few months of therapy and counseling, she took me back, but she said that cheating wasn't an achievement. I wasn't someone special to find someone to sleep with me, and the girl wasn't special for stealing a married man, and she would prove that to me. She will cheat on me, and I will never find out if she didn't want me to. It could come when I'm at my happiest and most smug self. Anytime she would be late at work or have a girls' night out, or visit her mother or take an extra long workout session at the gym. Every time I will see her smile and content, I will never know why. Anytime I touched her, I would never know who touched her before me. Every time she turned me down, I wouldn't know if it was because she really was tired or just satisfied. I will never know how, when, or where. I will never know with whom. Maybe someone very random, older, younger, more handsome. Maybe someone close to me. That, or I could just leave her. I haven't had a good night's sleep since she told me this. I know I deserve it, but I just can't stop hurting, like I am losing my mind soon because of this pain. A man named William wrote on Quora, I was married on May 16th of 1981. By October of 81, I had her in counseling for lack of intimacy, and again 9 years later for a sexless marriage. The only commitment that worked for me was when things did not change and I committed adultery, which she had been doing even when we were engaged. Now divorced and happy. The only thing worse than being alone is being with someone wishing you were alone. Another man named Steve wrote, I cheated on my first wife because of my own immaturity and she didn't appreciate the things I was doing for her or our house. As for my second wife, things are so much better now. I love her like crazy. Louisa, another man wrote, because I wanted to. Simple. No excuses, I consciously chose to have an affair, picked out a suitable candidate, and proceeded to have the affair. Enjoyed it, then ended it. Simple. A man named Mike wrote, because she was cheating on me, I promptly filed for divorce, consulted my lawyer, and sat her things outside of my home with a note. Then I went to her sister's house and tore that stuff up. I now have full custody of our children, still own my house, and her sister still comes and stays with me on occasion.